Hi, welcome to the names demonstration video. So what I'm going to do is take you through just all these techniques, and I'm actually just going to show you how I do all of this. Okay, so just a quick recap of all the techniques. Number one is we're looking to connect the names that you know to names that you don't know. Number two, what we're looking to do is take as much information as possible. There are lots of other things, for example, being able to write a person's name into their head. All of these things that we've talked about, but the very simple point is that if you are terrible with names, just take it one step at a time. So for example, I'm going to run you through pictures now and just 10 names. That's all. It doesn't need to be more than that. But the idea is that eventually what you'll do is you'll start meeting more people. And instead of using pictures to try and exercise your memory, you'll actually use real life people. And that's the important part, is being able to transfer this. But it's kind of like going into the gym and expecting yourself to like lift up, hundreds of kilograms in the first day. You have to build up to that. So if you're building up, don't expect yourself to perform at a very high level without any training. That being said, let's just kick straight into it. So it's very simple. It's just 10 names. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make what I can with the names, with as much information as possible, and put them into my house. So let's take a look. The first name that we're going to do is Veronica. And this is, she looks like a doctor, a medical professional. And so at the front door of my house, in location number 1, I'm going to put her. Now, Veronica, for me, I think of the Archie comics. I think of Betty and Veronica. So that's one part. So she is a brunette as well, which of course is like Veronica from the comics. And that means that that's quite easy. Doctor, so I imagine doctor as well. So I think of Bugs Bunny, what's up, Doc? And I put her together with doctor, together with Bugs Bunny. Yep, front door. Okay, I think I got it. Now remember, when you're using the house technique, try and make them do something. So for example, I think about, as a doctor, maybe she's using her stethoscope on the door. Okay. When you're in a real life event, a real life situation, you want to take on as much information as possible. Of course, you will meet this person again without the doctor's outfit on. Absolutely, you will see this. However, just to be able to connect it together, the first time is important. The second time, you need to trust that you will recognize the face, but the name won't come to you. And try and putting in as many clues as possible. When you ask the person, wait, what's your name? We've met before, what's your name? And they tell you their name, you'll be like, oh yes, of course, you're the doctor. That's where it comes in. It makes them feel better about it and gives you that feeling of success as well. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so number 2, going into the next room. Here's a scientist looking through a microscope. So for me, his name is Mark. The microscope has got an M in it, so I'm putting together the M of microscope and the M of Mark. I can also imagine that there's a mark on his microscope, and because it's going in his room, I'm putting this huge microscope into my room, into the next room. Okay, great. So the next one is going to be Patricia, and you can see this businesswoman. So in the next room, I've got Patricia. Oh, by the way, I'm separating them by rooms. You don't need to. You can actually put them all in one room. So I'll do that in a minute. So in my next room, I've got Patricia. Now, how do I remember Patricia? So I'm thinking of the people that I know who already have the name Patricia, but I can also imagine a shorter version of this is Pat. And so, for example, if I think of Pat or Patty, I can think of other famous people with this name. So, okay, I think I got it. So I'm thinking of Patricia Arquette. And businesswoman, so money, meeting room tables, etc. And so I've got Patricia in the next room. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Number 4. So this one's quite easy. It's Christopher. And you can take a look. So for me, I think of Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin. So Winnie the Pooh is a book, or at least, a children's book. And so Christopher right here that we see is busy writing. I think of Christopher Robin. Okay. So that's quite easy. So in my mind, I think about him in the next room, and I think of all the Winnie the Pooh elements, and I think about the writing elements as well, and so I put Christopher in my head. Okay. So let's put a couple together. So as you can see, number 5, we've got this guy, Colin. He's just graduating, so he's a student. And we've got Linda, who seems to be, giving a presentation. Perhaps she's even a professor. So we can put them together. So I've got Colin who's graduating. So how do I remember the word Colin or the name Colin? So I've got a person in my mind, a friend of mine from high school whose name was Colin. So I'm putting him in my mind. I can also think of different Collins, like, famous people like Colin Firth, for example, or Colin Farrell. These people are also, very famous. So I'm thinking of SWAT, the movie SWAT with Colin Farrell. Okay, or Fantastic Beasts, Colin Farrell. That was my favorite Colin Farrell, actually. Who is your favorite Colin Farrell? That's a good question. So I've got Colin graduating. Okay, great. And in this room as well, I've got him graduating in front of someone giving a presentation. The presentation is Linda. Now that's very easy. My aunt's name is Linda. So I'm going to imagine my aunt and this woman. And so what can I also remember about her? So she's got bangs. She's got a more kind of blondish, reddish hair. And so, yeah, there we go, Linda. Okay.